Got some Japanese maples to prune today, so let's get busy. All right, so there's the first one. As we can see, looks a lot better. Now you guys let me know in the comments if I murdered that last branch. You can see from this angle it's a little bit thin, but as you look around to this side, it thickens out. And this is more the angle towards the house anyway. But I just felt like that big branch was sticking way too far out there, and I figured I wanted to trim it back because we're not going to be doing any tree trimming in this yard for the next year. So we'll see. Landscapers, we got some landscapers hired, but sometimes the hired guys, you know, they just want to get things done quick so they can go on to the next job, and I'm okay with that. But I just wanted to make sure that things got trimmed back and that it looked real nice. So let me know, did I do it good or did I screw it up? I did very minimal research before I did this, so you can understand that we're all learning together, you know. All right, next tree. Let's see, put the angle on it. Now this one's really tall. I'm gonna have a hard time getting to those top branches. I might have to get my pole saw or my tree trimming thing, extender. And I'm definitely gonna take down this fort right now. So here we go. All right, so now with that fort out of the way, we can see a little bit better. As you can see, it's definitely got a lot of dead branches up top. And because of that weight of that fort and some of those logs, it definitely even like put a snow bend in it almost, like where the thing was just kind of peeling over. And you can see some damage down here. I don't think it's to the rest of the tree. It's probably why those branches are dying out. It's just not getting enough nutrients and water all the way to the top. But as you can see, it's got a lot of green leaves too, so I think it'll recover. Let's give it some time and we'll see. Maybe when we come back in a year, it'll be just like beautiful. All right. So that's all done. I took off all the dead stuff, took off all the stuff going towards the inside. I tried to take off some of the stuff that was hanging low, but there wasn't really a lot to take off after I took off all the dead stuff. That kind of shows you what kind of damage doing hanging stuff on your trees, or if they're not too big, you know, if they're not too fully developed, it's definitely going to cause them some damage. You can see this guy's just bending over sideways, and some of that's just trying to find the light because there's a lot of trees around him. Now this one here is my oldest Japanese maple, and as you can see, at one point somebody cut the thing down and it just did not like that and kept on growing and made tons and tons of different branches growing out in different areas. And I'm just fine with that. I kind of like the way it looks, partly because the kids can climb up in it. Even when they were really young, they could climb up in this tree. It has lots of branches going out in different directions, and that's kind of what happens if you cut something off and you don't dig it out of the soil, because sometimes if you don't dig it out of the soil, it comes back to haunt you. But today, with this tree, since it's so old and so mature, I'm going to do my best to not damage it. I'm going to cut some of the branches that are hanging down. I'm going to cut some of the branches that are in the middle, and I'll find all the dead stuff and try to get that off. And other than that, I'm gonna leave it alone. So that looks pretty good. I got all the dead stuff off, anything that was coming towards the inside. There was a couple big branches that were dead, and I took those off too. This tree over here next to it is kind of a major block for the sun, and that's part of the reason that it's so spindly, is it just tries to get above those other branches. Japanese maples are so resilient, like they take a licking and keep on ticking, just like Timex, right? Yep. All right, so anybody who gets that reference, you're fucking old. Bye. Save the easiest one for last. Let's get a little closer. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can see this one's nice and young. This is my youngest Japanese maple. Like I said, I planted this one a couple years ago, and it's doing really well. It's growing great. So the only thing I could do to fuck it up right now is to cut off the wrong branch, or get it too close to the trunk, or definitely, I don't know. There's a lot of things I could probably do wrong right now to make it terrible. So just give me a chance. I'll screw it up. And there she is. I probably could have left one branch there to make it a little bit more full. But there, I mean, as far as the tutorials I've read, you're not really supposed to. You're supposed to let it branch out. And if it gets too branched out too early, then it ends up like that big giant one that we have over in the corner. But if you do it about this stage, then it's always going to have these trunk branches, and the rest of them are going to kind of try to go towards the sky, which is nice. And then you're supposed to cut the middle out, and that makes it a nice big open umbrella. All right, well, unfortunately I did take that one branch out, so it looks a little sparse, but hopefully in 1 year's time this thing will be nice and big and beautiful and umbrella-y like. And in case anybody was wondering, I did not cut my finger off. I bled a little bit. I put a band-aid on it. I cried. And then I rallied for the cause and came back and finished this plant. All right, thanks for watching.